Hello everyone and welcome to Bug Access. In this video, we will be discussing the most important tool to hunt for SQL injection, SQL map. Now you must be thinking that why should we use SQL map or what is the use of this? So basic thing is there are thousands of payload and even you can craft your own payload depending on what kind of data you have to enumerate while you are doing manual SQL injection. Okay, so those who are beginners don't know which payloads to use. Okay, so they just enumerate use the different payloads available on GitHub manually. That is a kind of time consuming process. So in this case SQL maps come into light and it helps to automate all this process. You can enumerate thousands of or test thousands of payload automatically by using SQL map. So this is why SQL map is one of the most important tool for hunting SQL injection. Now the first question, what is SQL map? So SQL map is an open source penetration testing tool that automates the process of detecting and exploiting SQL injection flaws and taking over the database servers. It comes with a powerful detection engine, many niche features for the ultimate penetration tester, and a broad range of switches lasting from database fingerprinting over data fetching from the database to accessing the underlying file system and executing commands on the operating system via out-of-band connection. So as you can see, SQL map is a very important tool and it has many of the uses. Now many of you might have a question that there are many programs or bug bounty programs in which they tell no to automation tools. So can we use SQL map there? The answer is yes. Many times in these cases, whenever you use SQL map, they accept the report because this is certain thing that which is necessary to hunt for SQL injection. Okay, so why it is more preferable, we will learn it further. So the now after finding this, the basic thing that will be problem is web application firewall. So as you know that nowadays each and every website has web application firewall and SQL injection vulnerabilities are becoming rare. So SQL map has inbuilt a switch to bypass this web application firewall. Okay, so those who don't know that what is web application firewall, I will explain it first. So a web application firewall is a helps protect web applications by filtering, monitoring HTTP traffic between a web application and the internet. It typically protects web application from attacks such as CSRF, cross-site scripting, file inclusion, SQL injection, among others. A web is a protocol layer 7 defense and is not designed to defend against all types of attacks. This method of attack mitigation is usually part of a suite of tools which together create a holistic defense against the range of attack vectors. Okay. So if you want to find the SQL injection vulnerability nowadays, you need to know that what are the different things you need to bypass the web application firewall. Okay, yeah, so this is what SQL map is. Now let me show you different switches that we can use in SQL map. So first I will use SQL map --help. Okay, so first is the verbose. Verbose depends on how much data you want to know about the process. Okay, like how much enumeration. If it is saying that this payloads for this certain database is working. Okay, if verbose one, it will only show that much, and if you increase the verbosity, it may even show that which payloads it is working on. Okay, so verbosity is for this depending on data you want to see. -u is for URL. This is the most important flag as this will be used to specify our target URL. Okay, so this is how we will be specifying our target URL. --, data. Okay, so for example, there is a post request which has certain post parameters. Okay, now you want to test SQL injection vulnerability on that post parameter. So what can you do? You can perform two methods. First is using the data flag. You can enter, like for example, data is equals to user is equals to admin. So it will test SQL injection on that user parameter, which is a post parameter. Or the second thing you can do is use -r and add the whole request in SQL map. Okay, to hunt for SQL injection. That are the two things you can do. Now the second is hyphen cookie. This is used to add the cookie values required. Okay, so for example, hyphen cookie, I need to add the PHP session ID. This is the thing I will do. Hyphen random agent. So this is used to select random HTTP user agent header value. So what is user agent? It means that for example, I am working on Firefox, so my user agent will be Firefox something Opera, Google Chrome. This is like this. So by using this header, you can just use any random user agent. Let it be Firefox, Mozilla, Opera, anything. Okay, so this is what it will be used for. Now for injection, these are the two important flag sets. -p is the test parameter. Like example, there are 3 or 4 parameters in a certain URL. I want to test only on one parameter. So which thing I will be using? I will be using -p. Okay. Now for -dbms, now I know what is the backend database. Okay, so why would I bother to use the payloads for other databases? I will just use -dbs MySQL, so it will only load the payloads regarding MySQL. Now in the detection phase, these two are the most important commands: level and risk. So risk allows the type of payloads used by the tool. So by default the value is 1 and can be configured up to level 3. So being the maximum level 3 includes the some heavy SQL queries. Okay, so this depends, this tells that what type of SQL queries you want to use, and the level defines the number of checks or payloads to be performed. Okay, the value ranges from 1 to 5, being the maximum includes the large number of payloads in the scan. Now you want to test on certain URL in which you don't know that if a certain thing is vulnerable or not vulnerable. So the best thing to use is -level is equals to 5 and -risk is equals to 3. So this is the thing that you can use. Okay, now after that we come to the enumeration phase. So there are different things that you can enumerate: -a to retrieve everything, -b to retrieve dbms banner, -current user to just retrieve the dbms current user, -current db to retrieve the dbs current database. Okay, -password to enumerate database user password hashes. So this is what we can do. Now there is one more, -dbs to enumerate the what kind of different databases is there in that certain dbms system. So for example, I get 3 database systems. I want to enumerate only one. So how can I do? I use -d, the name of that certain database, and tables. What it will do, it will enumerate all the tables in that certain database. Now after I have got a list of tables, I want to enumerate one table. So now what I will do, -d, the name of the database, -t, the name of the table you want to enumerate, and after that you can do two things: -c to enumerate the columns of the tables, or -dump to dump each and everything available in that table. So this is the enumeration phase we can use. Now batch is used to automate all the whole process. I will show you how it will be helpful. Okay, so yeah, so let's take a vulnerable application. Okay, first I need to log in. Now we know that this is readily vulnerable. If I use 1, I will be getting this 1. Okay, so now what a normally thing that you will think is just copy this URL and use. So what is the command that you will use? SQL map -u single notation, the URL again single notation, -random agent, -dbs to enumerate the databases available, -level is equals to 5, -risk is equals to 3. Okay, so I will not be using this level is equals to 5 and risk is equals to 3 currently, because I already know that it is vulnerable. You will be using this whenever you don't know 100% if a certain parameter is vulnerable or not, so you don't want to leave any payload or any chance to find it. Okay, so I will just remove this for now. Now once I enter this, as you can see here, it is asking me a question. I have to type yes or no to tell that if I want to proceed further. Is there a way to automate this? Yes, there is. We will use one more flag set, which is batch --batch. So as you can see, it will be loading each and everything. Okay, it will start working. It told yes by itself. Now as you can see that it is not vulnerable, but why? It is already injectable. Then what is the problem occurring? So this is one important theory that you need to focus on. That for example, if you are getting anything, you want to test anything after authentication, as you saw earlier, I typed admin and to come into this page. So there is a current session going on, right? So I can just use it as it is. So what I will do, I have to use cookie. Yes, -- cookie header to use it. Okay, so -- cookie. Now why I am going to use -- cookie? Because it will specify which kind of which the session ID, so which session it is working, and it will authenticate it. Okay, so let me just use ID to intercept it, submit. Okay, so here we got this many cookies. The cookie I am more interested in is PHP session ID, as this contains the details regarding our session. Okay, so I will copy this till this, okay, and send it in the cookie in double notation. Okay, and now let it work. Okay, so it is telling that get parameter ID appears to be or boolean based blind having MySQL vulnerable. Okay, so here we got the vulnerability. As you can see, get parameter ID is vulnerable. Do you want to continue? I am telling no, because there is no point in continuing once we have got the okay. So parameter vulnerable ID, the type, which type of SQL injection vulnerability it is, boolean based blind. The payload used, ID star not is equals to this is the payload used. Okay, similarly it is also vulnerable to error based, time based blind, and union query. What is the backend DBMS? MySQL and 5.0. Okay, now we used --DBS to enumerate the available database. So we have got two databases, DWA and information schema. Okay, so this is what we have got. Now I want to enumerate further. Okay, so now I won't be using -DBS. I will be using -D, specifying which database I want to enumerate. So you understood that previous thing, that whenever you are hunting for anything after authentication, always include session ID in the cookie header in SQL map. Otherwise it won't be able to work, as it is not authorized to access that content of that website. Okay, so I have selected information schema and --tables. So now it has given me this many tables. Okay, now let's see for the second one. Similarly for the second one, DWA, I will be enumerating tables for this. Okay, so I got two, guest book and users. Now I want to enumerate user table. Okay, so let's just remove this header, use -T to specify which table we want to use, we want to enumerate, -- users, and there we can do two things, -- columns to dump each and everything, or -dump to each and everything, to dump each and everything here. Okay, so I am going to use -dump. Now let's see what we are going to. Now it is telling that recognize possible password hashes. Do you want to store crack them by? Okay, so do you want to store? So I will tell no. Okay, First I will tell no, because when you want to store, because if you have any other password cracker or not. So I will be using the dictionary attack. So the dictionary attack default dictionary I will be using 1. Okay, common password suffixes, yes. So it is working now. This will take a time. So as you can see here, I have got abc123 a password, admin as a password. The whole enumeration will take a time. Okay, so now as you can see here, I have enumerated all the data regarding this users table. Okay, there are 6 entries. User is admin Gordon B1337, Pablo Smithy user. Last name is also there. The password is also there, admin abc123 Charlie let me in, password user. So as you can see, there's all sensitive data is been exposed. Just imagine how much time it might be take if you are working manually on this. Okay, so it is always better to use SQL map to find vulnerabilities for SQL injection vulnerabilities. Okay, so this is a P1 level vulnerability, and this is how we use SQL map. Okay, yeah, so as I told earlier that if there is a web application firewall, how to bypass it, we're going to show it what thing to use. So there is a different thing, hyphen temper. This certain parameter or flag is used to by different scripts. There are different temper scripts which are used to bypass web application firewall. Now there are many base64 encode, uni encode, double encode. So what scripts to use, how will you know? So just visit this site, as a run SQL map temper scripts. Just visit this site. As you can see, here are all the details regarding it. Like for example, my backend DBM is Microsoft Access, so I will be using hyphen temper, all these kinds of temper scripts. This one temper scripts, you can use it only as one, or you can combine it with other temper scripts. So it is better to combine. If it is MySQL, I can use this temper scripts. Okay, so this is an easy way to bypass web application firewall. Okay, so this is all for this video. Do let us know your views about this video or any doubts in the comment section. And yeah, also make sure to follow @bugaccess, our Instagram handler. Thank you for watching.